Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Post Podcast. With me, as always, is my buddy Chris Ronan. How are we doing tonight?
It's happening, Chief.
It's happening. It's Friday. The Rangers just beat the Tampa Bay Lightning, going up 2-0. We're going to be talking about that in a little bit. Slowing down. It's slowing down. I remember in the beginning of the whole playoffs, are just like, there's 3 games going on, there's 2 games per night. Now it's just a game per night, and it's like, we're getting toward the end here, and it's getting kind of sad.
Wait till you see next round when it's a game every other night.
I don't want that. I don't want that. The hell are we gonna do during the summertime?
Take a couple months off.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, right. In your dreams, buddy.
Yep. Apparently, I don't know what the hell we're gonna do. It'll be an interesting topic, but I guess we'll get to it when the time comes. But let's jump into it this week.
I saw some rugby players in Quincy Center the other day.
What?
Yeah, I saw the rugby players, if you're looking for something else to talk about other than hockey. I saw the Baxter Free Jacks.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
The Free Jacks team?
Yep, I know exactly who you're talking about. My cousin Matt, he played rugby, and he was telling me about it. It was Quincy Center, you said? I thought it was the Wallaston area, no?
No, they were hanging in Quincy Center. They were walking around and heading over to practice, I think, because it's like between Quincy Center and like North Quincy, kind of. Like where 3A meets like Hancock Street.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yeah, I saw some tall dudes. I was like, damn, those are some big boys. And I was looking, they're all in like red, white, and blue. And I'm looking at the shorts. I'm like, that's a Free Jacks logo. That's sick.
Just another group of guys I just would not mess with, you know? Just be like,
I messed with them, dude.
You mess with them?
No, absolutely not.
Gave him the fist.
It's like, give me your lunch money, nerd.
Give me your lunch money, yeah. I'll take your beer too, loser who plays rugby. Is that how you did it? Because
yeah,
that's that badass.
Sounds pretty accurate.
Yeah, pretty good.
In my baby blue shirt.
This guy means business. All right, so let's start the episode off. We got some hockey news here. Let's start off somber, I guess, and then work ourselves up. The Vancouver Canucks' Brock Besser's father, Duke, passed away at the age of 61. We offer our condolences. Just a rough way to start this episode, but where it's just an unfortunate passing, and we hope the best for the Besser family. And I guess, I don't know, not much more to say from there, but I did want to let that air out and let people know what's going on. Moving on from that, we have the Chicago, not even just the Chicago Blackhawks, but the Chicago Blackhawks, the Chicago Bulls, the Chicago Bears, the Chicago Cubs, and the Chicago White Sox had made a collective commitment of $300,000 to the Robb School Memorial Fund and Sandy Hook Promise Foundation in support of finding solutions to the gun violence. This is this goes off of how we ended our last episode, and it's great to see these teams come together and put money toward these foundations. I thought it's great. I think I'll hope to see more teams, more organizations do this to help out, but Chicago is the first sport organization to come out and do something, so that I know of, or that we know of. So
yeah, I don't want to speak out of turn here incorrectly, but I think Chicago is one of the, I'll just say, top 5 cities in the country for gun violence. So it's good to see these sports teams, pitching in to support their communities, I guess, is the word I'll use. But yeah, definitely good on them for starting this fund and getting everything going. Yeah, so
exactly.
Good to see some action happening.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. And then we have retirement news too. Maple Leafs Jason Spezza announced his retirement. He finished with a career 1,248 games, 363 goals, and 995 points playing for the Ottawa Senators, Dallas Stars, and Toronto Maple Leafs. We're not going to see that Spezza laugh anymore.
Thank God. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see him fizzle out into the sunset, but he was a force to be reckoned with in Ottawa. He's obviously the assist master, playmaker kind of guy. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, what more can you ask for in a hockey career, right?
Right. Yeah, you're all right. I think we're going to see a lot more retirements at the end of when the playoffs end. I think now that the Florida Panthers out, I wonder if we're going to hear Joe Thornton. I think the list is going to go on and on during this the off season. So Jason Spezza will be the first, and congratulations on he had a good career. Unfortunately, no cup. If you look at like his accomplishments, he's great in the AHL. He's been in a few All-Star games. I mean, he was great. Just a great guy to have around. Unfortunately, just no cup.
Yeah.
But that's what happens. Moving on from that, we in the OHL, goalie Brett Brochu of the London Knights was awarded the Jim Rutherford Trophy this week, which is given to the goalie of the year. He went 29-11-2 this season with a 2.75 GAA and .911 save percentage, taking the team to 6th overall in the OHL. Congratulations to Brett Brochu and the London Knights. They're currently OHL currently, or I should say, just started their postseason, the playoffs. We do focus really on the NHL a lot, and I kind of wish we started diving into like the OHL, AHL, especially. We're just talking about how we kind of shit the bed on the whole double IHF World Cup or World Juniors while the playoffs is going on, and I mean we got some news about that, but I don't know. I do feel like we should probably start getting more involved in all this talk. I feel I definitely in the beginning of the podcast when we first started doing this, I definitely made it a forward movement to look into like different leagues. I mean, we've talked about high school leagues. We've talked about definitely OHL, AHL, but I feel like we've really kind of skewed past that when we really shouldn't. So I think next on the list for us is to maybe branch out a little bit, web out back to the OHL and AHL, possibly. Yeah. And then we got some also trophies coming up too. The Montreal Canadiens' Carey Price has won the Bill Masterson Memorial Trophy, which is awarded annually to the National Hockey League player who best exemplifies the qualities of perseverance, sportsmanship, and dedication to ice hockey. This is a guy that you didn't want or didn't think was the best of the top three.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I definitely see him being, the guy ahead of Zdeno Chara.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough to see another guy like Chara ride off into the sunset, but to give this kind of award to a guy that really, I mean, I hate to poo-poo like what he's done and what he's accomplished with getting over the hurdles that he's had to get over, but at the end of the day, he really only played 5 games when Kevin Hayes is back in the lineup shortly after his brother's passing and played an entire season,
right,
exemplifying the qualities of perseverance, sportsmanship, and dedication to ice hockey,
right.
Mm-hmm. I think that it's really, in this case, given to a guy who has a last name that's gotten a lot more spotlight in his career and just in general, like, hey, it's Carey Price, let's give it to him kind of thing.
Yeah.
But, I mean, nothing against him. It's just I think that this kind of award could go in any direction, really.
Right, it really could. Another award. Are you all set?
Yeah.
Because I want to jump into this one, too. We got another award that came out. The Jack Adams Award was given to Daryl Sutter. The Jack Adams Award is given to the coach who contributed most to the team's success. He finished this year with the Flames, who had second ever 50-win season, which is a huge success for the Calgary Flames. We were just talking about them being an absolute threat coming into the playoffs. Daryl Sutter seems to be the guy. He is a coach. He has been, at least the past 5 episodes, he is an absolute quote machine, as you call it. He's just getting the job done at his age and for how long he's been an absolute veteran in the league, too, as a head coach as well,
The only thing I didn't like about this, Daryl Sutter turned the Flames around and brought them to where they are, gave them a career record season, but he's done this before with an organization like the LA Kings and many other teams like that. I think the guy that should have won it this year personally is Gerard Gallant with the New York Rangers, just because that team was, at the beginning of the season, looked at as they're entirely in rebuild mode. There's no way they're making the playoffs, and they end up finishing second in the Metropolitan Division. Mm-hmm. They went 52-24-6 with a team that, like I said, was in rebuild, had 2 very young goalies that we didn't really know what direction they were going to trend in.
Mm-hmm.
And Gerard Gallant is getting so much out of his guys. He's juicing that bench entirely, getting every inch that he can get out of them.
Mm-hmm.
And to see him with the resume he has, the short resume, but impactful with the Vegas Golden Knights and the team that he's on now, like, I feel like it's a snub, and I feel like Daryl Sutter's kind of like the cop-out answer here, too.
Right.
And I believe whoever the third coach that was an option, too, got more votes than Gerard Gallant did as well. I think it was the coach with the Florida Panthers.
Oh, yeah.
I think he got more votes than Gerard Gallant did, too.
That's
So
interesting.
yeah, thought it was kind of odd.
The team who's still in the playoffs.
It's my hot take for the day. Yeah, but it's not about playoffs. You can't really look at playoffs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's about the regular
Just
season
regular
and where they
season.
got to.
Right.
And the Flames did have, a career year, but I think just it's about the coach who contributed most to his team's success. And when you have a team like the New York Rangers who are technically supposed to be in rebuild and they're finishing second in their division, like that just means a lot more to me than where the Calgary Flames ended up landing.
Right. I want to go back to the Montreal Canadiens here. We have some head coach news. Talking about head coaches. Marty St. Louis was hired as head coach and signed a 3-year extension after being hired as an interim last season. He replaces Dominic Ducharme after he was fired early February. I mean, do what you got to do, I guess.
You saw the work that he was getting done with Cole Caulfield in the postseason. He's showing him these new techniques in a fake shot, really sell the guy on it, and then toe drag and get to open space and put it on net. And that, like, there was a highlight that showed him in practice showing Caulfield exactly what to do, and then the next day Caulfield executes it and scores a goal thanks to it. Like, I think it's really awesome to see that, and Marty St. Louis is the definition of a player's coach, and I want to say that he's probably the closest the closest guy behind the bench to a player's role in the sense that he's most recently out of the league and on to behind the bench kind of.
Hockey Hall of Fame guy too. Add that to the list.
Yeah.
And I
Speaks French.
Speaks French. I was going to bring that up too for Montreal Canadiens. Hopefully he can do something. Dominic Ducharme. I feel like, especially the Canadiens, have just been like, it doesn't work after like a few months. They're just like, get rid of him. Let's change it. And I'm like, I don't know, but hopefully it works.
It's a Toronto Maple Leaf scenario,
right? And Marty St. Louis is coming in with we're assuming a full 100% ready to go crew, other than this season that just passed. So we'll see if he can spark some. What am I trying to say? Spark some fireworks. Spark some fire under the Canadiens' ass and get them back to playoff contention.
Yeah, he's got about a season and a half of catching up to do, so hopefully he can get it done.
Right, 100%. So let's go back to the double IHF talk. Team Finland won the double IHF tournament. Goalie UC Olkin. Sorry, I'm gonna have a brutal time with this too. UC Olkinuora. These Finnish, man. Can I give it one more go? UC Olkinuora.
There you go. That's how I would have said it.
The Finnish goalie won MVP of the tournament with the 0.86 GAA and .960 save percentage. He has established a shutout streak of 206 minutes and 44 seconds with 4 shutouts in total in 8 games played. He currently plays for the Magnitogorsk Metallurg and the KHL.
Magnitogorsk Metallurg. That's like that jersey that I want.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that. And the KHL. Adding that, Finland's Valtteri Filppula, has become the 30th and first player from Finland to join the Triple Gold Club. Filppula won the Cup in 2008 with the Detroit Red Wings and won Olympic gold and World Championship this year in 2022. One, UC, unbelievable goaltending, but I think what stands out most right here is Valtteri Filppula. That Gold Club, we talked about that months back, and that is a huge list to join, especially doing it literally this year too. But like, you won the Cup in 2008, and now this is the year you're just gonna join it. Unbelievable for Filppula, a guy that I don't think he's been under the radar for a little bit.
Yeah, there are not a lot of players that are on this list. I'm going to guesstimate around 20 to 25 maybe at best. But yeah, it's definitely a huge thing to see. And the IIHF, I forget the numbers. I'm going to butcher the stats. I'm just going to throw you random numbers and be impressed by them because that's what I got for you. I believe in Finland, it was the highest rated television event of all time. Mm-hmm. And I want to say 15 out of the 18 nights that games were played, that like at its peak 90% of the country was watching, and then 15 out of the 18 nights that it was on, it was the number one television show or event that was on at the time.
Yep.
So those are all fake stats I just gave you, but it's impressive, isn't it? Wow, can't believe you just made all those up.
Oh wow, that's insane. You know, if you say something with
enough confidence and loud enough, people believe you.
Believe you. Yep. But you're pretty close. You're pretty close to. We didn't write down the stats for that, but you're actually really close to what it was. Why didn't I write that down?
Yeah, you should fact check me in post and put it right down there so you can see how right or wrong I am.
Yep, exactly. 100%.
Did you know that pumpkin is an aphrodisiac?
All right. Do I have to fact check you on this one too?
This weekend, dude, like 3 people agreed with me at the bachelor party. Dude, by the way, I'm still paying for my sins today. I said that, and people were like, yeah, absolutely. I was like, it's number 2 behind oysters. And they were like, oh, yeah, for sure. And then they Googled it, like, it's not even on the fucking list, dude. What are you talking about? I was like, yeah, you just say it loud enough and with enough confidence. Everyone buys it.
People, yeah. All of a sudden, pumpkin sales, like,
on the roof. That was my selling point. I said, you know what? Pumpkin spice latte is number 1 selling fucking coffee in the country. So how about that?
Wow. Do you have anything to say for Filppula? This is huge. This really fell to the wayside. Like we have like top of the line players like in this, like there's 30 players altogether that have like had this accomplishment, and he's in it, man. It's such a huge. If you ever see someone join the whole Gold Club, yeah. Be well aware of it and know how hard you have to work to even get that. Well, not even just how hard you have to work, but like you have to be on 3 specific teams that are just so championship and like Stanley Cup ready, you know? I don't know. Huge accomplishment in my eyes.
It is. It means that he's definitely a factor, but at the same time, timing is definitely a big thing. And the way that a team gels together, you need to be on 3 different teams with 3 different random groups of guys that someone else has assembled and says, this is the team to get the job done. And to have it all work out at the end of the day, like it's very rare to happen. And it's very cool to see a guy like that who's been around the league long enough. And he has traveled a bit, but he has his loyalties. I don't know. I like this guy a lot. He's a great player, and I love watching him play. So I was happy to see him join this club.
Right. Let's move on from all that double IHF talk. We're gonna do a quick stat that we saw from round 2. Round 3 is current, so we're gonna skip a bunch of stuff here from round 2 and jump right into round 3 here. But round 2 stat from the Oilers Flames: 1 minute and 11 seconds. Made it the fastest 4 goals scored in NHL playoff history by 22 seconds. Oilers vs. Flames, Game 5. At 14:57, Zach Hyman scores to make it 3-2. At 15:12, Johnny Gaudreau scores to tie it. At 15:28, Cal Yonkrock scores to give Calgary the lead. And then at 16:08, Evan Bouchard scores to tie it 4-4. Dude, this Oiler... we were just talking about... I was talking to you about right before we started recording... how we were kind of just like during like the regular season, the West is kind of like, I wouldn't say a joke, but not as interesting compared to the East. But now we're in the playoffs where I feel like the West like side of the playoffs has been way more like entertaining to watch than the East. And maybe because of all the goals, maybe because
that's why
crazy.
I think it's not as interesting. Like I like the East because it's a closer matchup and it's not a run and gun like rack the score up kind of thing. I think that you look at the West and you see the star power matchup in a McKinnon and McDavid, competition versus a Vasilevsky and Shesterkin defensive-minded competition in the East. I also like the storyline that we haven't gotten to yet because we haven't seen it, but the Makar and Fox comparisons that we're seeing throughout these playoffs too, which is cool. But going back to the Oilers Flames stat that you mentioned, I want to say that this is the game that you said that it's the lowest scoring game when it was 2-1, and then
Yeah,
Obviously,
I
it was
think
tied
so.
2-2.
Yeah, this is the game.
And then
Yep.
a minute and
And that
11
just
seconds
blew
later,
up.
right?
Isn't
It's
that
4-4.
insane?
So
Yeah,
I thought that was hilarious.
I think this is this is insane. This was the game I think right before we started recording. Was it?
Yeah.
It was one of
Yep.
those games. Holy shit!
This was last Thursday.
It just all of a sudden like out of nowhere, just like the ball started rolling, and here we are, 8-6 final score. It's just insane. And now we have the Colorado Avalanche series going on too. It's just I don't know, great hockey to watch. But let's move on from round 2 here. For round 3, we have the Lightning Rangers. Igor Shesterkin is the 5th goalie in NHL history to record multiple assists in a playoff game, joining Pecorine, Jose Theodore, Tom Barrasso, and Grant Fuhr. Big move. Shesterkin and Mike Smith were the 2 goalies I've been talking about the past few weeks that when you watch players of the other team dump it in, they have to dump it to the side because Shesterkin and Mike Smith are like the 6th player on the ice that can play the puck. And like Shesterkin had that sick pass from like behind the net, like tape to tape, like across center ice. Who was that? Zibanejad?
Dude, you are so funny with Mike Smith. You are so hot and cold on him like this entire postseason.
All I'm saying
You're like, he's so good at this, he's so bad at that. He's so good here, he's so bad here.
All I'm saying is that he could play the puck. He's good at playing the puck.
Is he?
I think he is. He can rifle the puck.
I'm pretty sure he had a turnover that led to a goal this postseason.
Yeah, shit happens.
Yep.
Can I add anything more to that, or you just?
No. I think I've rested my case.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
But yeah, shout out to Shesterkin. Way to go, you're the man. Way to go get 2 assists. That's great. No one gives a fuck.
Especially that Carolina Hurricanes fan. Was it the game 6 or something like that, where Shesterkin won and he goes over to the glass and taps him like, "Hey, good game, bud."
Yeah, it reminded me of when he was waving goodbye to the Penguins in the regular season.
Yeah, that's right, dude. Shesterkin just doesn't give a shit
Savage, bro.
all. Keep it on to the Rangers here. Adam Fox is tied for 2nd in fewest games played to 20 career playoff points with 18. Next to Flames' Gary Sutter. And first is Flames' Al McInnes, who took 17 games. Adam Fox, your boy, is just on a heat stick. Just going. Points.
Yeah, there's a few guys this playoff series, this playoffs, I guess postseason I should call it, that are really racking up the points. Adam Fox is up there, which is surprising as a defenseman. McDavid and Draisaitl, obviously, I think they had like 26 and 27, some shit like that. It's insane how much weight is on X amount of players' shoulders. You know what I mean? Like Adam Fox is definitely one of those guys. My favorite clip. I'm so backwards. Never mind. I'm just gonna drop that and pretend like it never happened. Well, I'll talk about my favorite clip when we get to Oilers Avalanche later. You're gonna know exactly what it is.
Okay.
But Adam Fox is looking really solid on the blue line for the Rangers. We'll throw our picks out there too. But right now the Rangers are up over the Lightning 2-0 in the series. So,
nice.
You want to shout your pick out there?
What for this series?
Yeah.
I can't go back now.
No, you can't. That's not how the world works.
I said Lightning in 6.
That's why I made you say it beforehand, because you would have went way back. You would have said Rangers sweep. Tonight you would have said Rangers sweep.
Tonight I would have said, "Oh my God."
Matt and I have the same pick for this series. It's going to be Tampa Bay in 6. So let's go. They're down 2-0. They got to win the next 4 straight. Let's see it.
Just can't pick against them.
I won't.
Nope.
I won't.
Can't do it.
Even next round when they're up against the fucking Colorado Avalanche, it's going to be wild.
They can come back. Keeping on with the Rangers too. I got one more stat here. Mika Zibanejad with 21 points and Adam Fox 20 points are 3rd and 4th in the league in points these playoffs. And then we have Chris Kreider is tied for 3rd in goals with 9. Another fun fact is Zibanejad is also tied for 1st with power play goals, an absolute unit on the ice in the power play. We really haven't talked about these New York Rangers that much. Especially with us, they've really fallen to the wayside, and now that we're seeing just 2 playoff series where we're really focused on the New York Rangers, are just like, oh my God, we've really missed even remotely talking about these guys,
Yeah, they're the underdogs, and they're getting it done by depth. Like, it is the top line and top pair of guys that are getting it done in Zibanejad and Kreider. But when you look at, like, an Artemi Panarin, he's not really getting the job done. I mean, Fox is up there in points, but it's kind of like everyone's doing their part, and that's what's working, especially Shesterkin on the back end. But one thing I was talking to one of my buddies about in the whole postseason playoff matchups and stuff, there isn't really a villain this playoff series at all.
No, yeah.
Right? Like, even going into it with every team that's in there, I don't know. There wasn't really a villain, was there?
Not that I know of.
Right?
Yeah.
I guess maybe L.A. Who's the guy in L.A.? Oh, he has a father that was in the league. A lot of people don't like him. I can't think of what his name is. I'll look it up. I'll figure it out. But I really don't think that there were any, teams that people were really like, fuck those guys. I hope they lose,
Yeah.
I feel like there usually is. But, yeah, I was thinking about this. I'm like, I guess the Rangers the Lightning where they're trying to three-peat. And I think the Rangers are the favorite as, like, the underdogs, kind of. A buddy of mine was talking to me about the Oilers, saying that, like, Mike Smith is a wily vet and he deserves to get a cup. And the Avs are so young, and, like, McKinnon should get one, McDavid should get one. I just feel like there's too many people that should get one. And at the end of the day, I guess the Lightning become the bad guys, but they're really not.
Yeah, right.
They're just like the Patriots. They just win too much, and people want to see them lose.
That's an interesting take. Yeah. I don't know if we're saying this because of we're hockey fans, but there's no one really here right now in the Stanley Cup conference finals that you're just like, I hate that player. You just don't have that. We're just talking about the Bruins with Tony DeAngelo. He was just, they really made him like the bad guy throughout that. So like there's a push, but nothing here. I mean, even with the Battle of Alberta, the rivalry was there, but at the same time, I don't know.
The goaltending and defense wasn't. And the player I was thinking of on the Kings was Brendan Lemieux. A lot of people don't like him. He's kind of a prick to play against.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
that's
kind
right.
Of a villain.
Yep.
Kind of the villain, I guess.
The guy that came from the New York Rangers as well. So I want to move on to, because we keep talking about the Oilers Avalanche, we're going to move on over to them. 25 players had a point in Game 2, which tied for second most in any playoff game ever. 13 Oilers players and 12 Avs players in an 8-6 Avalanche win. Darcy Kemper out injured after Game 2. Apparently he pulled himself due to blurry vision, which could still be taken from the stick to the face possibly, or something else entirely. Another little stat I want to bring up too is Ivana Kane is 5th in points with 17 and 1st in goals with 13. Ivana Kane is a shock, would you say? I wouldn't say a shock, but also when he came back, you're just like, why is he back?
I think there was an initial shock factor when they signed him, but before playoffs even started, people knew what he was and what he was producing for the Oilers, and it was working, and it was the right move, putting him on that first line. One thing to chop down any people that say the Oilers are really just have one or two guys that are getting the job done. They're the only team in the postseason that have 5 players averaging 1 point per game. Mm-hmm. It's McDavid, Draisaitl, Evander Kane, Nugent Hopkins, and Zach Hyman all have average a point per game. So it isn't just one guy getting the job done. It's definitely not just Mike Smith getting his job done either. But Darcy Kemper out with the injury. I want to say that blurry vision is usually a big sign of post-concussion syndrome. So I think that's going to end up being the case once we hear back. But Pavel Francouz, however the fuck you say it, I always mess it up.
Francouz.
Coming in hot and putting up a 4-0 shutout for Game 2. So that was really cool to see.
Avalanche was all over them that game, though. You were just talking about how Oilers did come out of every player is doing their thing and contributing, but it was that game it was just that game in general. Watching it, where just Colorado is too of an all-around team, and it was every time when Connor McDavid was on the ice, you're just for some reason, it just felt like he was the only threat against the Edmonton Oilers that game. We're just Zach Hyman, nothing. Evander Kane, nothing. For some reason, it was just Connor McDavid that can go through 5 Avs players without any problem whatsoever. He was just that one player that was just a threat. And I don't know if it was just that game. It was game jitters getting Game jitters, going through all the players and figuring each other out. But that was one note I really took from that game where I was like, oh, wow, Calgary Oilers were just great, and both teams were just back-to-back. And here we are, Avs versus Avs versus Oilers are just like, oh, wait, this is an entirely different series. And
it just didn't make sense to me. I expected the run and gun, stuff from Calgary and Edmonton, and I was like, this sucks. Like, I don't enjoy watching that. I like a tight hockey game like we saw tonight, a 3-2 win.
Mm-hmm.
But game one really set me off because I was like, what the fuck? Like, is this series really going to go like this? An 8-6 win? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't really looking forward to that. Game two definitely made me feel a lot better. I didn't like to see the lackluster goaltending from Mike Smith, letting up the 3 goals in like something absurd, like a minute and 18 or something like that.
Right.
But going back to what I was saying last series, in my favorite play was the only thing I wanted out of the Oilers Avalanche series was to get one highlight of McDavid breaking into the zone on just Makar, and I got it. And Makar broke that thing up phenomenally. And he is the only guy in the league, and I'm pretty sure there was a regular season game where this happened too. And I was like, he's the first guy in the league that's able to maintain speed with McDavid on his zone entry and poke the puck away. Mm-hmm. And he did the same fucking thing again. As McDavid was doing his classic break down the right wing, cut across to the front of the net. Right when he takes it from that backhand and tries to cut over, Makar pokes that right out and gets around him, maintaining his speed to get that puck up and break it right out.
Yep.
And McDavid has no choice but to
go
fly around.
Yep. I remember seeing that, and I think I remember telling you about that or something. As soon as I saw that post, someone reposted that on Instagram. I sent it to you right away. I'm like, dude, this right here.
It's like the best clip I've seen in a long time, and I love that it's not a goal. Like, it's just it's just hockey, and it's just both players are playing their position and doing everything correctly, and to see which one comes out on top is just so cool to me.
And it's like Connor McDavid too, and like these playoffs were just like he's in like another dimension. Basically, he's like above everyone else. And here's McDavid that can just like I said, could go through like 5 guys and like do his like, what am I trying to say, jerk into like to the net, like to pretty much like crash the net. And we haven't seen a player that can really catch up to his speed. The goalie either saves it, he either goes wide, or just something happens where he stops and tries to make a play. And it's just been unbelievable to see. And now here's Cale Makar just be like, nope, I can match everything he can do and just play my position well. It's really been unbelievable to see. And yeah, I'm 100% with you too. It's like high score in hockey is great to see, and if you're a hockey fan, play hockey. It's like these type of games with like these types of players at their levels that are like beyond like NHL. I want to say beyond NHL levels, but like one of the best players in the league, just like going at it. It's unbelievable to see in my eyes.
Yeah, it's just cool to see, like, at one point, McDavid was the only one with that leg up on the entire league, and now we're seeing other people catch him, like an Austin Matthews, a Cale Makar, even defensively with a Cale Makar, like an Adam Fox, like guys that can actually maintain and play at that level. And I think people are catching up to it and learning how to compete and, get to McDavid's level.
Yeah, it's insane.
What do you got for your pick here?
What did I have? I said Avs, right?
Mm-hmm.
I said Avalanche, and I think I gave them 6 as well.
That's right. Yeah, I got the same pick as you, and they're up 2-0 in the series right now. So
I might be good with that.
Might be.
Who do you have again?
We picked the same exact way. Very boring. Both Tampa in 6 and Colorado in 6. So
Tampa Rangers could upset. Rangers, I was just talking about.
I don't understand why or how they could, but they can. I don't get it. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me either. I was just talking to my coworkers where we're just talking how your buddy who bets is just like when we were talking about like how many games for we're making our picks and stuff. We've been so wrong since like the beginning of the playoffs. It's just been unbelievable. Like it's hard to pick. Like, who would have thought the Lightning would have just swept like the
Or
Florida
putting the
Panthers.
Rangers in the conference finals. That's
Right.
nuts too.
It's just insane. Like you can't you just can't pick this, and it's such a weird sport to pick for, and like I understand why you were sweating because like we're sitting here. I
Fucker didn't buy me lunch either.
right. I literally said like with like the bottom of my soul, I was like, Lightning again is gonna take this series by like in Game 6. And I just gave them two. I gave the Rangers 2 games because Shesterkin's unbelievable, Adam Fox is unbelievable, and I was like, with that, possibly they can get 2 games out of it. I could be wrong, I could be right, but as of right now, with the Rangers up 2-0, we just saw something that was at 93% of the series go to the team who's up 2-0 in like the series. So
I believe the record was 91-7.
it's unbelievable. So I don't know. We could be. I love throwback. Yeah, we could be eating our own hat.
No hats this week.
No hats this week.
Got my hair cut on Wednesday.
Looking good.
Thanks,
Good.
Thanks, babe.
Yeah. But I don't know. What's your take on this Rangers situation?
I don't have anything that explains it other than if you have a hot goaltender, that's what gets the job done, and that's what's working here.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to get the numbers on it. I'll probably chuck it down below right here on how many different goalies have actually played in this postseason, and I don't know if I'll be able to find it, but if it's an NHL record, because back in the day, it wasn't a tandem that got the job done, and nowadays it is. So
Yeah.
you're seeing a lot more guys getting pulled and a lot more guys getting hurt, and it's okay to put the backup in. So we'll see, but hopefully I have that info for you down below. I wanted that before tonight, but it's kind of nuts.
Yeah, it's kind of insane. And what's your take on this Oilers Avalanche series?
My main takeaway is I don't really understand how they can have a game where it's 8-6 and have the next game go 4-0. The Avalanche do seem to have their number being 2-0 on the series over them, and just being able to maintain that gap and maintain their lead at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. Again, this is just the beginning of the conference final, so God only knows what the hell our picks are going to look like by the end of this, and what we thought by the end of this, and I don't know. It's going to be good hockey, though. I do like the Oilers Avalanche series, and when we were watching the Rangers Lightning series, the fact that they're up 3-1, but it was after Lightning went up. I don't want to say went up, but they got the goal to make it 3-2. It got kind of scary because when Vasilevsky was pulled, Tampa just held that zone. Like, they were getting great chances. But you have the Rangers like willing to throw the body and block shots, and Shesterkin's right at the door, just ready to save that puck. So it's I don't know. We'll just see what happens. That's all I got.
I think it's pretty demoralizing for the Tampa Bay Lightning to get that close this game too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna throw a hot take out there and say the Rangers are gonna get Game 3 in Tampa. We'll see where it goes from there, but that's what I got for the next one.
Wow, keep the flame going.
Yeah.
All right.
I was also surprised to see that Tampa Bay finished lower than the New York Rangers did.
Oh yeah.
Right? Isn't that weird?
That's weird. We were just talking about how Tampa Bay is just a playoff team. Be like, we just need to make it to the playoffs, then we're good to go. Apparently not. It's cool seeing John Cooper just absolutely fired up. I understand where he was coming from, but he was just, oh man, he was screaming at his guys. I don't think I've ever seen really John Cooper scream. Maybe because he's got a team that can get shit done. But I mean, when you're almost going to be down 0-2 in the series, and you got a goal, it's 3-2. I'm sure John Cooper's just listen, you guys need to get your fucking asses.
Tell you what, they're missing Braden Point desperately right now.
100%. But with that said, we will finish up this conversation next week, Friday, and we'll see where our picks lead and go. We could be absolutely wrong.
Probably.
But we have a few more hockey topics that we do want to talk about after this. So I want to know your take on this. You brought it up. It does make sense. It makes complete sense, but this is where Toronto might be fucked. The Toronto Maple Leafs, Jack Campbell, is looking for, he's currently a UFA. He's looking for $5 million AAV, and I don't think Toronto will be able to even pay it with with their salary cap. So he's going to be UFA. What is Toronto going to do goalie wise?
You look at the salary cap, like it's such a hard number. Like there's so many things you can do to make room and make moves and get things done.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Toronto as a whole just needs to pick a guy and stick with him because they haven't done that yet. And if you can do that and lock up like this is our guy on the back end, that's where you really start to build and get some growth. They're going to have to do that with Jack Campbell here.
Mm-hmm.
And I could probably see him getting locked in at around $4 million and giving him a little more time. You know what I mean? Like lock him in at, instead of, a 3x5 deal, it's a 4x4, something like that.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
So I think they'll do that, and I do think that they'll move on from some guys, and hopefully they sell high on an asset or two because they're so top-heavy. If you can sell high on, let me throw it out there, like don't hold me to this, but a Willie Nylander or Mitch Marner, someone like that, sell high on that, get a good defensive asset in that's, half the money, and then you use the other half of the money to lock in Jack Campbell kind of thing. But
right.
I just think as a team, you need to pick a guy and stick with him, and Jack Campbell needs to be that guy now.
Right. I think he's definitely proved himself to be that guy. He took over Peter Mrazek. He's become the backup. Jack Campbell really was and became that guy. So it would be a smart move for Toronto to do something to keep him there. So I thought it was interesting. There was something going on where this is what he wanted $5 million AAV, and there were comments. And in the comment section, there are some Toronto fans who are just like, see you later. And I'm like,
That's not that outrageous of a number either. That's dead middle of the ground.
Not crazy. You got Carey Price getting $10 million AAV. It's just like,
You can't compare Jack Campbell's contract to Carey Price's.
Well, no. When you said it's not that crazy, I'm just talking about crazy. Where
the top of the list is 10 to 12 right now. So
right.
For him to ask for 5, I'd say here's 4 and see where he says, see where he stands. So.
Like, we'll
That's
give you
where I'm
4
at
and
on
stay
that one.
here. So, might be hearing some Jack Campbell news soon. Moving on to Arizona Coyotes. We haven't talked about them in a few weeks because they've been kind of a joke. The Tempe City Council agreed to negotiate with the Coyotes on a $2 billion development. Gary Bettman endorsed the plan, but wants a 30-year no relocation agreement.
So the 30-year no relocation agreement is based on the city of Tempe.
Yeah.
It's not Gary Bettman saying he needs that.
Yeah.
The city of Tempe is putting the ball in his court and saying like, we'll do this, but they can't move for 30 years, and that's a lot. And I think Bettman definitely endorses it because he was one of the big proponents of hockey going to the desert.
Mm-hmm.
But 30 years is such a long commitment to say like
a long time.
This team has one of the lowest attendance rates and like the least amount of money coming in the doors.
Mm-hmm.
For them to commit to 30 years is huge, dude. And no relocation, like, I think that's a no-go and they should just relocate the team now, but that's just me.
100%. That's rough.
$2 billion of an investment for 30-year commitment, like that's not worth it in my opinion,
No.
$2 billion's a lot of money, but oh my god, I can't even picture that. It's gonna happen. I feel
it's
like
gonna happen,
fuck.
but like it's it's gonna be like the Atlanta Thrashes, where just like no one's in the stands. You're just gonna be giving away tickets.
I don't know. I think maybe they latch on to the culture in Vegas and they say, hey, hockey's just as good out in Arizona in this desert, and they make some partnerships with golf and even like a Topgolf. Let's turn the hockey arena into a fucking Topgolf facility in the summertime, in the off season, things like that.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what happens. It's become such a shit show with this fucking team. I don't know where the hell this is going to end up. But I feel like the majority of the fans from outside looking in are just like, just move the team, But I don't know, from a business perspective.
If you're a fan of the Arizona Coyotes, you do not want the team to move.
No. Wait, what?
You just said that the fans are like, just move the team.
No, I didn't say. No. I'm just talking about hockey fans just in general.
Oh, okay.
Not definitely not the Arizona Coyotes fans, but like from Like, just the NHL fans just in general that are like seeing this from the outside in, like, what are you doing? You know, just move the team.
Personally, I don't want the team to move, but I need more of a commitment from people, you know, and I don't think it's worth a $2 billion 30-year investment. I don't know.
All right. I don't know. I don't know. But there's your Arizona Coyotes news for the week, because we haven't talked about them in a few. And
we talked about them last episode and the episode before.
We did?
Yep.
When did we bring them up?
Snoop Dogg and Warren G got jerseys.
I forgot about that.
And then the week before, we said that they couldn't have their logo on center ice when they could.
That's right.
We talk about them every week.
Oh God. Well, this should solidify it for the next few weeks.
Any Rick DiPietro update?
No Rick DiPietro. It's been a while.
That one has been a couple weeks.
It's been a while. Yeah. I'll have some Rick DiPietro stats for everyone next week. And for all the new listeners listening in, Rick DiPietro was the talk of the town for a good amount of episodes at the beginning of this. But speaking about talking of the town, great segue to end off that. Have you seen Shorzy yet?
I have not.
You have not?
I don't have my Hulu login anymore.
Why?
Because I canceled it.
I gotta give you mine.
I'll take yours. That'd be great, actually.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I talked about this on air, if I told you about it, but I usually watch TV in the computer room, and my wife watches on the TV. So I was watching in the computer room. This is when I was on paternity leave with Emma, and it would say like Christopher on the computer room, but when I go to the living room, it would say both of our names. There were two options, Christopher and Mary Kate. So I was like, do we have two Hulu accounts? Like, why is it not keeping track of where I am on my shows? You know what I mean? Like, I would have to like go through each episode and find out where I left off, all that stuff. So I was like, I think we have two, so I'm just gonna cancel it. When I canceled it, both of them gone. Like,
what?
Yeah, so it was like one account that wasn't syncing with itself, and now I'm like, well, I don't really want to pay for it anymore, like, because I'm pretty sure it was on a plan with like, I don't know, Xfinity or Spotify, some shit like that. So I don't know. I just haven't gotten back on board, but. I do want to watch Shorzy. I've seen some pretty funny clips, but
oh my God,
I also kind of think
good.
it's a little drawn out and kind of cringy, I think, personally.
So you haven't watched it, so I'll let you watch it and figure it out. But I thought the exact same thing, where it's like, all right, Letterkenny, like Jared Kiso. I'm like, what are you doing? We know we all love Shorzy from Letterkenny, but when you watch it, it's just an entirely different thing, because you know how Shorzy in Letterkenny just leaves, like disappears.
Yeah, they do a lot of character development in this one. I feel like they really expand upon the hockey side of the world.
Yeah, they do a great job with this. They give Shorzy some background too, and understand where he comes from and stuff. And I think he just does a great job. I absolutely love what they do with Letterkenny, just in general, and Shorzy. Just like everyone's in there, like, you know. I don't know. I don't want to ruin anything. I thought you watched it. I probably should have asked you if you watched it yet. But I'm gonna give you my Hulu. You're gonna watch it.
What a guy.
I'll let you.
We'll put that link in the description below. I'll put all his login info.
All my
for you
login
guys.
information. I'll give you my credit card information, my location.
No, you don't need that. That's maxed out.
I have no money. If you find any, let me know. But
here's Matt's credit card info. If you want to pay some of his debt off, that'd be great. Thank you.
I will really appreciate that. I am crawling to the finish line. But I don't know. I'm kind of now that we're in the conference finals, a lot of hockey news is kind of falling apart here. Like, so I don't know. I got that. That's it. That's all I got for the week.
Kadri 3-assist night the other night. That guy's a fucking hero. I love that guy.
Leg, love him.
I feel like the league is truly divided on Kadri. That's like the one player that, like, you know, like there's the Brad Marchand where, like, if he's on your team, you love him, and if he's not, everyone in the league hates him.
Yeah.
Kadri's like dead middle. Like, I think half the league loves him and half the league hates him.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know how to with that Stanford Nas stuff.
No, dude, it wasn't hard to before that.
Oh yeah. You're right.
Yeah, and I think that's what brought him back to half and half. You know.
You're right. You're not
right?
wrong. Yeah,
I think that's part of it.
You're not wrong. I didn't even think about that.
I like Kadri a lot, though. I think he's great.
I like where your mind goes. Just like all of a sudden you're just like, hey, remember this from like a few years ago? And I'm like, Jesus, how do you remember that? I don't know. 3 concussions. Here we are.
Remember when Bobby Boucher showed up at the Bourbon Bowl at halftime and the Mo Dogs won? I love that quote, dude. That one's great.
Should we? Oh, we gotta do the nip. Unless you got anything more to talk about.
That's all I got, baby.
That's all I got. Nice and sweet. All right, so I got this 100 proof Rumple mints. This is coming from a guy that hasn't eaten dinner yet. So this is gonna hit me nice. What do you got?
I got peanut butter and jelly, boys and girls.
Oh yeah, the nice little backup.
Great.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh. Oh. Wow. Wow, that is a burn. Woo!
Not tonight, buddy.
Oh.
Not tonight.
Holy shit. Wow, that burnt the back of my throat. Oh.
I don't want to be here anymore.
You gotta wake up early, bud. I'm sorry.
I got 5 hours.
Maybe I'll go to your work and order some pancakes. From
Come
you.
on in, dude. Be
Mhm.
great.
And just give you hell at work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dine and dash.
Where's the syrup? Yeah. Don't even take
Hey, thanks
it
for
all.
breakfast, Chris. I'll see you.
Yeah, I'll see you later, bud. All right. Want to call us out?
Thanks, everyone, for listening. If there's anything you want to see us cover next episode, let us know. Our links are in the description, and we'll see you all next week.
Bye, guys.
Peace.